First thing we got to do is get the vehicle up in the air and support it safely. And we'll start by taking this black plastic cover underneath the engine transmission and take that down. Next thing we have to do is remove this plastic cover that's below the radiator. It's connected to the bumper fascia here and on the side. So we're going to remove that now. Here is the tool that we're going to be using to disconnect the coolant lines. This one is a Leslie 39960, and there's two different diameters in this kit. There is 1/2 inch and 3/8, and we are going to be using the 3/8, the smaller size today. First thing we got to do is take the latch off the line. That's this gray piece right here. Remove that. Then we're going to put our tool we got it in position. I had to move the camera to get my right arm down there and push that tool in there and pull back on the hose. And it pushed it in, and it disconnected the hose. Make sure you got a drain pan underneath there, because it's going to drip a little bit. And that released it. Now we're working on the other end of that line where it goes into the radiator. There is a 16 millimeter hex on this fitting, and we got to remove that now. As you can see, I got that new line in. It comes from the bottom, and boy, there's a lot of stuff you have to move that line back, but you got to be patient. Don't bend the line. Keep going underneath there, twisting it where it goes underneath the subframe, and you'll get it by the hose and all the things that it has to go by. Now this top line has an O-ring on it, but the bottom one does not, which is seems kind of strange, but that's the way they want to do it. So your package comes with one O-ring in it, and sometimes you wonder, well, why am I not getting two? Well, the bottom one is a different compression, whereas this one uses the O-ring on the top. So we're going to make sure we have that O-ring in that fitting before it goes in the radiator. I'm going to put a little ATF on that O-ring. Alright, it started by hand. Alright, I got the new line pushed on. It's hard to show you because you need two hands, and boy, you gotta push that thing on real tight to get by that spring in there. So now we're gonna put the latch back on. There it is. It's the easiest part of the job right there. This is what happens in the salt belt area. These coolant lines always corroding. I would recommend anybody that has a Fusion get underneath the car and inspect these cooler lines. If the car is probably 8 years or older, they could very well look like these. Another thing before I go. This tool right here, this plastic tool that you use to go in and push the retainer to get this line apart right here, it deflects too much. This plastic right here, this area right here, it was moving around, deflecting, and it felt like it was going to break. It did get the job done. We could get them off. But I would highly recommend that you get metal ones. The original ones that they have are kind of like a clamshell where they open up and hinge, and then they kind of latch in very positively. But this right here is just too much deflection. The plastic is just, there is a lot of pressure to get in there by the retainer to get that small piece underneath the retainer so it gets above the line with the shoulder on it. So that's my little tip right there. Get a metal one of these. While we're underneath here, this is a good opportunity to drain the transmission fluid from the transmission. This is the drain plug right here. It's the 11mm head. The first thing you should do before you do any work like this is to check the dipstick and see where the fluid is on the dipstick. Because what we're going to do is we're going to drain the fluid, and then we're going to measure the fluid, pour it into a container, measure it, and then we will know exactly how much fluid we have to put back in the vehicle. No guessing. Alright, let's take this plug off. Let's see if I can get this out quick without getting splashed. Okay, we're down to a slow drip now, so we can put our plug in. There we go. Alright, we're going to measure the fluid that we took out of the vehicle. This won't be precise because when we were draining it, we missed a little bit in the pan. So we're going to have to add a little bit more than this, but this will get us very close. And we checked the dipstick before we started the job, and we were right in the middle of the safe zone. Alright, I'm going to stop right at 4 quarts on this container because I can see the graduation on the side. Okay, that's a little bit over 1. So it's safe to put 5 quarts in and then check it. I would say the amount of fluid we missed the pan, that was a slight amount, maybe half a pint that we lost. We didn't collect. So if we put 5 quarts in, it's going to get us pretty darn close. And then from there, we can use a dipstick and fine tune it. Alright. So just tickle over 5 quarts. So that's what we'll start with. Alright, let's pull out the dipstick. Put our funnel in. And try not to spill it. This is Mercon LV. What belongs in here? We'll put our dipstick in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start it up, check for leaks, and then we're going to cycle the shifter a couple of times, warm it up, take it for a little test ride, bring it back, check the level on flat ground, and go from there.